everybody, it is Calxiyn and Hunter here, and if you guys enjoyed this video, you should subscribe for more RWBY videos. Check out the Patreon if you guys want to see our reaction early. These videos are early access too, as well, so you guys should check that out. Our finale will also be up for early access this weekend, so if you can't wait for that, I would suggest checking that out. There's our Discord server where you guys can talk and freak out with us a bit more, but today, we're gonna focus on Winter. Winter dying. That is how I think about Winter anyway. Like, I haven't sold
you
myself.
You took Yang from me. I don't know why I'm saying you took it.
I
You took
did.
Yang
It was my
from me.
fault.
Don't you take Winter from me as well.
Here's the thing, okay? Like, on one hand, I don't know if I'm entirely sold on any of these explanations. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes when we make a theory, I'm like, afterlife theory, let's go! Like, I'm so sure of myself. Like, I just know. Like, I just know and I'm, like, sure of, like, one idea, if that makes sense.
Weiss is Watt's daughter.
But for this, like, I'm sort of in that, like, in-between where I feel like that it's not exactly clear. Like, it's not clear if Winter is gonna die or not. At least not to me. Like, I am flip-flopping on whether or not she'll live. But let's go over the facts, okay? I think that Winter's job right now is basically to prevent Ironwood from entering in the portal. And she can do that in a couple ways, right? She can kill him, she can knock him out, but my fear and my concern is that she will basically, like, stall him long enough, but then the portals close, and then she dies alongside Ironwood as Atlas has fallen, right? So that would be my worry, is that, like, her and Ironwood are fighting, like, they're fighting each other, like, Winter thinks, like, she got him, and as soon as she got him, the portal's like, and the portal just closes.
Oh, that would
and then
terrible.
She's like, uh-oh, right? I'm left on Atlas, and in one sense, that would actually fit her character arc, because she's like, I've always defended, you know, the kingdom from its enemies. You're the enemy. I'm giving my life and sacrificing my life to stop you from getting to my sister.
Which is more or less the
right?
line she gives when she fights Ironwood
Exactly,
in the last
right?
episode.
And so that's what I'm saying, and so that's her mentality, so would it not make sense for her to sacrifice herself and die in order to prevent Ironwood from getting to the kids, getting to the relic, and undoing all the good work that Team RWBY has done? Like, I could see that to the end of her character arc, but I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that happening, and so I think that we have some other ideas as well. So idea one is that Winter and Ironwood fight, and I don't think that Ironwood is going to best her, to be honest. I don't think that Ironwood is going to beat Winter, but I do think it could be possible that he's stalling long enough, like he's evading long enough that they run out of time and the portals close, and, like, you know, Winter and Ironwood, like, maybe they both have a moment where they realize that they both fucked up and they both, like, hug each other, and then, like, Atlas falls.
I don't know if I want the hug, like the Jamie and Cersei treatment where they're hugging at the bottom.
But you don't understand what I'm saying? Like,
No, I
Ironwood
understand.
realizes, like, oh, I fucked up. Like, I really fucked up,
Do you
and
think
now
that
I'm
would
gonna
be
die.
in his character to acknowledge that he fucked
At
up?
the very end, when you're about to die, like, I think so. You know what I mean? When you're
as I'm about to get suffocated from this collapsing cave, I'm beginning to think that maybe I should have gone a little more of a peaceful route.
I mean, when you think about it, right, like, in that final moment, do you think that Ironwood would still be like, yeah, this was a great idea, I should have fought Winter, I shouldn't have listened to the kid, like, I don't know.
Because that communicates his stubbornness.
Yeah.
Like, stubbornness till the very, very end. I think
yeah,
that might work for his
I guess,
character.
but I don't know, I could also see him being like, oh, Winter, I'm so sorry, and then him being like, you know, both fall.
I'm sorry that you didn't follow my orders, Winter.
Oh, God.
Here's the thing, though, is that I know he has, like, gun, and he's kind of, like, in a murderous rage right now.
Yeah.
But at least my impression of Ironwood after the Watts fight was that he wasn't exactly, like, tasty in a fight.
No,
he's not gonna be able
I mean,
to.
they're okay. But think about
fine.
Watts.
I just feel like Winter is going to kick his ass, like, dispatch him immediately.
Exactly. So here's the thing about that. Think about Watts on the totem pole of villains, okay?
Sure.
Ironwood can beat Watts, sure. It was kind of 50-50 there for a minute. Like, Watts could have bested him. But Winter has gone up against Cinder, and did she kind of but Cinder kind of lost as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't exactly like she didn't kill Cinder, but she held her own against Cinder to a degree, and so in my mind, Cinder, power level-wise is above Watts. And so if Winter can be tasty in a fight against Cinder, you would sort of think, okay, well, clearly with Watts and Ironwood, if they're at the same level, it should really be a no-brainer that Winter will be able to do well. But it's just about more so what happens, like, will the portal, like, close and Winter won't make it, or I have some other ideas that I would like to talk about. So idea number 2. So first idea is no one comes to help Winter. She stalls him, but it's too late. The portal closes, or she beats him, right? She beats him, like he's knocked out. She's like, finally, I can like leave him here tied up and go through the portal, like whatever, right? And then the portal closes and she's like, oh. Well, that's not great. And so then the second option is Marrow and Elm. So Marrow and Elm, to my knowledge, are still in the base. I don't think, unless Crow and Robin like chucked them in the back of the airship. Winter,
you're coming into car, kids.
Winter should possibly like have the help of Marrow and Elm, right? And so unless Marrow and Elm are in the car, which I could see them actually being with them, I could see Robin and Crow taking Elm and Marrow along, because Marrow was helping them, first of all, right? Like he was helping them defect, and then Elm was tied up, right? And so they couldn't just leave Marrow and Elm's like unconscious bodies right there.
But
and
I don't believe Elm was unconscious.
No, she wasn't.
Marrow
was unconscious.
My guess for that is that Elm would end up saving Marrow.
Yeah, like Elm would, like, you know, help Marrow or whatever, then maybe Marrow would wake up, untie her, and they're like, where the fuck did everyone go? Oh, okay, I guess we should go help Winter then.
Oh no,
you know
Atlas
what I mean?
is falling.
Right, and so I feel like that there's one of two things. Like, either they went with Crow, and if they went with Crow, they will not help. But if they're still there, the only thing I could see them doing is going to help Winter. So I feel like it's possible that the Aesops may come down there and help her, or I guess the remaining Aesops, which is just Marrow and Elm. So that's a second idea, but I don't think that that's really as likely, because I feel like that for some reason, like they did go with Crow and Robin and they won't be around. And also, like, Elm doesn't really have as much of a connection to Winter. How impactful is it for Tweedledee and Tweedledum to be the ones that come down and save your ass? You know what I mean? So that's the only problem I have with that theory, is like, it's not like Weiss coming to save Winter,
that's
right?
true.
It's, or Penny, right?
That's
like
true.
Penny going to save Winter against Ironwood, and them having like a character arc moment. Like Marrow, I understand. Like Marrow has had moments with Winter, but Elm would kind of be like random in terms of
it
that
would be
character.
a little random, but it would
stuff.
work a little bit in the idea that they're both like dogs of the Atlas military
Yeah.
that like got off their leash, so to speak.
I guess so,
and
right?
are fighting
That
against
Elm has
demands
now changed. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think on that extent, it maybe
I
not
just think it's
personal.
better for them to go with Crow and do the
Sure,
Aesop stuff
sure.
that's already happening over there. So what's my third idea, okay? Watts. Hello, Watts. Okay, so Watts is still, you know, in there. He's still in the compound. And we know that Watts has beef with Ironwood, obviously. And so I feel like that what could happen is that, you know, Winter's fighting, like she's getting kind of tired, but she's still like kicking his ass. Like she's kicking Ironwood's ass, but she's still getting tired, you know. Ironwood's holding his own,
metal
right?
titanium ass.
Exactly. And then Watts comes down the elevator and he's like, hello, James. Right, in that little Watts voice that he does, right? And so what I can see
nice
happening...
to know that you can do... nice to know that you're going to do all the voices for the
I
Grimm
know,
and
right?
for Watts.
And so what I see happening is Tyrion v. Clover v. Crow 2 Electric Boogaloo, except it's Winter, Ironwood, and Watts. And Winter's a little bit like hesitant to work with Watts at first. And so I could see that was like, that could be a thing. Or she could actually make like a deal with Watts, which I think would be really interesting for Winter's character, because Watts is the character that was fucking around with Jacques and made a deal with Jacques, obviously. Now Jacques' dead. Now Watts is going down the elevator and like, go on, Winter, I'll distract him, don't worry. I want him to stay here as much as you do. And Winter's just like, and then she runs through the portal. And then she would see Weiss fall, and that would be very bad. So yeah, that's just sort of the third explanation of what I see. And like, in these explanations, Winter could still be trapped and fall with Atlas, right? Like, say the Aesops go help her, but then they're all trapped, they could still die. Or say Watts goes to help her inadvertently, right? But then the portal closes. Like, Winter can still die in all these scenarios. I'm just thinking of who would come to help her, if anyone. And I feel like that Watts wants to go kill Ironwood. So
Watts will want to
not?
kill Ironwood, but I feel like Winter wouldn't team up with Watts.
I know,
feel like
that's the
would just,
weird part, right?
I feel like she would just
Like, what
kick
would
the
she
ass
do?
of Ironwood and Watts.
She would kick both of their
Yeah,
asses.
I think she's entirely capable of kicking both of their asses.
That'd be funny though, because then it's like, then what if the portal portal closes after she kicks both of their ass, and she's like, well, I did it to defend Atlas, I guess, right? And so, yeah, I don't know. I think it would be interesting.
I think I have a third idea of what could happen.
A fourth idea?
Or, I don't know, do you have a third idea?
No, that was the third idea.
My fourth idea
Okay.
is maybe Winter isn't able to go through the portal. Maybe it closed. Maybe she has both unconscious Ironwood, or maybe unconscious Ironwood and unconscious Watts
I love
over
that.
both shoulders.
Why do I love that?
Like a deer pelt. And then, who did we forget about?
Oh no, you're joking.
Maria and Petro.
Oh, Maria. I thought you were gonna say Raven.
Okay, Raven
I thought
is
you were
not
gonna
like...
go entirely
Raven is
here.
not Frank's Red Hot Sauce. I do not put that shit in everything.
Oh my God.
I'm very selective with my Raven.
So your fourth
Maria
idea.
and Pietro
Maria
fly
and
up from that big hole in the bottom because
Right.
they think that that's where Penny is,
Right.
presumably.
Okay.
So they fly up through. All they see is Winter and two dead dictators or people who helped instill a dictator. And they're like, yeah, no, help me. They jump on with Pietro and Maria, and they fly out the bottom of Atlas.
So in that version, Ironwood and Watts would live.
Or maybe just Ironwood.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe
the
Winter
Ironwood just leaves.
Yeah, the
them.
Ironwood factor is different. He might be dead. Watts might not even be there. He might just be unconscious and husking the body over her shoulder.
Okay.
But she gets out due to Maria and Pietro.
Because here's my thing. Like, I always imagined that Ironwood would go down with Atlas. Like, I always imagined that he would literally, like, go down with the ship. That's how I sort of thought. That he would be in his office looking out his window, and we would see as the audience that he's looking outwards, and then he falls, and then he splats, right? Like, that was my idea. But I didn't consider, like, what if your thing is right, the airship, and Ironwood's knocked out, he's on the back of Winter's shoulder, he's handcuffed, right? Because I think that Winter and Robin share that same sort of ideal of let's not kill him, that's not nice, you know what I mean? Like, they should pay for their crime sort of thing, right? And so what if we get a scene instead, I would actually kind of like this, of they're all in the airship, like Maria and Pietro, they've helped to like Winter, right? And even Pietro must have some sort of connection to Ironwood, right? So to see him fall so far, that could connect to Volume 7, how Pietro was saying all that stuff, like, yeah, Ironwood's a good guy, he's just kind of a little bit, you know, a couple of screws loose, right? Like, that's
I think
what
the
Pietro
conversation
says.
between Winter and Pietro will be amazing. It's like, remember your daughter? So funny thing about that.
Well,
she's had an interesting day.
Well, I don't think Winter knows about that, though. I mean, I guess she would, because Weiss is gonna be like, hey, Winter, we're trying to make Penny a real girl.
She was probably...
If it works, hopefully it works, right? Like, Winter probably knew it was a possibility, but not that it actually happened. But I'm imagining, like, they're flying away, they're flying out of the kingdom. Ironwood's, like, unconscious, but he opens his eyes a little bit. He's sort of like, you know, that hazy vision. Like, we see him blink 2 times, and then on the 3rd time, his eyes open, and Atlas goes, whirr, and then you just see, like, tears streaming down Ironwood's face that despite everything, like, Atlas fell, and he's very upset about it.
Alternatively, if you wanted to do I like that idea, the dramatic Ironwood.
Yeah.
I think potentially what he could do is maybe Winter, like, destroys his gun, and so he's basically unarmed. He's like, you know, you can just, like, walk through there. You can go to Vacuo. You're a dictator, and you're not the best of us, but you have some skills that will be useful to us. Why don't you do good? And maybe he's just unwilling to, and so he just, like a petulant child, just sits there.
He just sits there in the vault room.
Waits till Atlas drops as Winter escapes through the portal, or with
Maria and Pietro. Yeah, I think that's an interesting idea too, because I always see like, oh, he's gonna go down with the ship, but I don't know. But yeah, I like the idea of Maria and Pietro coming in, because I kind of forgot about them, to be honest. Like, they haven't done anything.
Well, that would be a kind of cool twist, wouldn't it? Everyone sort of forgot about him, and then they make their appearance again.
Exactly, and some people may be like, oh, that's Pietro ex machina, but like, I don't know.
But
like,
it makes sense why he would do that, because he thinks that where his daughter is.
Exactly, because that's the last thing that Penny was saying was like, oh, gotta go to the vault, I guess, right? Like, and so, I don't know, it kind of makes sense to me, at least, right? And so, and if Watts is there, imagine, like, Watts is here, and then Ironwood's here, and then Watts opens his eyes and sees Pietro, and he's like, you motherfucker! Like, he's gonna be so mad, right? So I feel like that kind of fits into our other theory as well. But yeah, those are basically all my ideas for how the fight is gonna go. I do see Winter death flags. I do think if they want to go like like really dark, they could have Winter and Ironwood fall together, but saving them is not exactly out of the realm of possibility either. So really, we're gonna have to wait and see. But yeah, anything else? I think that we pretty much covered it. And so yeah, I'm sorry guys, sorry to break your heart. But here's like the other thing that I could see. If Winter does go through the portal for whatever reason, like say Ironwood won't leave, right? He's refusing to leave, but says, hey, you know, if you want to leave, I won't follow you. Like he has this resignation sort of thing, right? Like if she goes through, what if she like goes through the portal and then she just sees Weiss falling and she's like, what the fuck, right? Like
yeah,
she just happens to walk in at that same time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and here's the other thing, right? Aren't Whitley and Willow going around on an airship? So what if instead of Maria and Pietro, they come for Winter? And like she has this whole thing of like, you know, that she abandoned Whitley and really abandoned her family and her mom for good reason. I'm not shaming the girl, you know what I mean? I'm not shaming Winter for that. But that was a big thing, that Weiss reconnected with her family, but Winter didn't. And so what if what happens is they're like da-da-da-da-da, like Winter's not in the portal, you know what I mean? Like somebody like alerts them to that, like I don't know how exactly, because Weiss seems a little preoccupied, but they're somehow alerted to the fact that Winter has disappeared and not has like reported in for a while. And so we
checked the Schnee family tracking device and we saw that you were in the vault.
Like maybe they hear from the Aesops, like they're like, come in, Crow and Robin, like where the fuck is Winter? Is she with you? And they're like, no, Winter's not here. Maybe
they're with Maria and Pietro. Maybe they've like joined ships along the way. The whole gang's here.
But yeah, what if instead of Maria and Pietro, what if it's actually Whitley, Willow, and Klein that come through the hole and save Winter because they know that she's not around? Yeah, that would be personal. Like her family saved her. Very nice. But yeah, I think that's basically it from us, guys.
Wow, we came up with 5 variations. One of them has to be right.
Exactly. Carpet bombing at this point. One of them has to be right? And so yeah, that is it from us, guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed our video with our ideas. I'm actually really connected to that Whitley and Willow idea now. Like, not gonna lie. Yeah. I'm actually really like connected to that one, but at the same time, the morbid part of my brain is like, no, she's gonna die there with him. Sorry. Anyway, so yeah, that is it from me, guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed, and we will see you in the next one. Bye!